Really exciting news for fans of 40k. It looks like Inquisitor Eisenhorn is going to be getting his own TV series. Unsurprisingly, not many details to go on at the moment, but Inquisitor Gregor Eisenhorn is a character from a series of books penned by the legendary Dan Abnett. A lot of the artwork will look familiar because Eisenhorn got a limited release earlier this year before the model went on full release a few months later. Now the press release does confirm that the series will be based on those books, which is really cool. I'm going to avoid as many spoilers as I can here, but Inquisitor Eisenhorn is not your standard Inquisitor. He's not all goody-goody, loyal to the end, blah blah blah. Whilst he does try to be loyal, there's an interesting character arc. He does go to extreme ends, which causes others within and without the Imperium to start to question his loyalty. And I guess there's only so many times people can assume you're the bad guy before you actually become one. Now, we don't know when it's going to be released, who's going to be in it, or how it's going to be released, whether it's going to be on a streaming service, on TV, or purchasable in Games Workshop stores and through their website. What we do know right now is a couple of the personalities behind it. Emily Feller, who's worked on things like Trust Me, Medici and Ordinary Lies, will be an executive producer. Big Light Productions will be creating the whole thing. And there's a personality called Frank Spotnitz involved. Now that's really interesting for us because he's worked on not only the X-Files, but more recently, The Man in the High Castle. And I think it's that series, which is on Amazon Prime at the moment, which gives us our best look at what Eisenhorn could be. It's an alternate history about the Nazis and the Japanese actually winning World War II, so it's used to dealing with some pretty touchy content. Now, I would have loved to have shown you a clip from The Man in the High Castle. Unfortunately, that gets your video insta-blocked. So instead I'll just talk about it a bit. And in this scene, one of the characters has got a flat by the side of the road and a police officer stops by. It starts to be a little bit tense, but towards the end they're talking and they're sharing some food. It's raining a little bit, and then all of a sudden something else starts to fall from the sky along with it, and it looks like ash. At which point, the police officer very calmly describes the local hospital are burning people with terminal illnesses and people that he describes as cripples. So clearly not worried about covering sensitive topics, which is good because a 40k universe without being grimdark, that's my worry, that it gets aimed at kids, because obviously Games Workshop's always trying to be family friendly. That's really not what the Inquisition about. So we can only hope that with a background in things like fascism and Imperial Japan, that actually we'll get something worthy of the series. So there's definitely cause to be cautiously optimistic at this stage. Aside from who's starring in it, I think the big news will be who's writing it. It would be great to see Dan Abnett in it, and obviously he has a comment in the press release, so we can still hope, but it might just be because he's Eisenhorn's author. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with Eisenhorn's character. I'm going to rush off now and reread the books. Until the next episode, keep drinking, keep gaming, stay safe.